We're following some breaking news, though, in West Sacramento. A van crashed into a liquor store. Investigators now trying to figure out what exactly happened there.
Photographer Dave Grasshoff has been on scene for most of the morning. This is Jefferson Boulevard. Dave, good morning. What are you seeing at that scene now?
That's exactly what happened. The call came down about an hour and a half ago as a vehicle into a structure, and when the West Sac police got on scene, they witnessed a little bit more. And since then, I have been able to talk to the owners of this store, and they shared some surveillance video on exactly what was taking place. But look at the security first with this live shot right here. Look at the security. They do a really nice job. They have some bars on the windows and those garage doors that kind of block the front entrance. But let's switch to the video here, and we'll just watch what actually takes place. This is a little more than just a vehicle into a building by accident. You're going to watch an individual try to get out here, but this is a break-in gone wrong, because this individual right here soon realizes my vehicle is stuck. So not only can I not get into the liquor store, but my van is now stuck. We don't know yet. We need to talk to West Sac PD and find out if this van is stolen or if this is indeed this individual's van. But he kind of got stuck right there. He can't move. He's trying to get the vehicle to move so he can get into the store, if that's indeed what he had in mind. So, but the van is stuck. So eventually the video goes on and on and on. This individual ends up grabbing a skateboard and walking off. So I'll switch back to a live shot here. There you can see the owners, real nice people in their family-owned business. They're in there cleaning up the inside of their store, but they did share that surveillance video with me. So if you recognize any of that, or that person or that van, and you may know anything, just get a hold of West Sac PD. Dina, John?
Wow, so interesting to see that perspective. All right, yeah. Dave, thank you. Well, police have arrested a suspect after a car and then a foot chase in Sacramento. Police say they got reports of a stolen car just after 2 o'clock this morning. They say the driver crashed into a fence on Marconi Avenue and then took off running. Police K-9 found the suspect not far from the crash.
Fears of a twindemic in Solano County. The public health department there is reporting the county's first patient who has the flu and coronavirus. Health officials believe that it happened because the patient didn't follow proper social distancing guidelines. That's how more than 90% of COVID infections are occurring in Solano County, they said, and people gathering have put the county on the brink of falling back into the purple tier for widespread risk.
Obviously, we're not telling people not to get together with family and friends. What we're suggesting is when you do, use common sense and take responsibility for your actions. Don't go to a gathering if you're sick.
The Solano County health officer says the person who is infected is under the age of 65 and in fairly good health. As the peak flu season approaches, doctors are urging people to get the vaccine to reduce the risk of becoming seriously ill, since some of the symptoms of the flu and COVID actually mirror each other.
And speaking of the coronavirus, the U.S. has set a grim new record in this pandemic. Data from Johns Hopkins University now shows there were more than 88,000 new cases reported yesterday. That's the largest single day total since the pandemic began, 88,000. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention predicts we could hit more than 250,000 deaths before Thanksgiving.
On the campaign trail, President Trump and Joe Biden were in Florida to deliver their closing arguments to voters there.
I've never been more optimistic about America and America's chances than I am today, because I know the American people.
We are doing great. Do you see the number today? 33.1 GDP, the biggest in the history of our country.
Presidential campaigns converged on the Sunshine State yesterday, holding rallies in Tampa just a few hours apart. Both candidates are going to be in the upper Midwest, a region where COVID-19 cases are spiking right now. Meanwhile, yesterday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she's looking ahead to next year.
I feel very confident that Joe Biden will be elected president on Tuesday. So while we don't want to be overconfident or assume anything, we have to be ready for how we are going to go down a different path.
Pelosi and the Trump administration are still negotiating a coronavirus relief bill, but they're at odds over testing and aid to local governments, as well as business liabilities. Traditional trick-or-treating is discouraged this Halloween, so many communities are throwing trunk-or-treat events, but Do drive-through candy giveaways really offer a safe alternative?
Ashley Williams is live for us this morning in Sacramento with what health experts are saying about this Halloween. Good morning.
Hi guys, good morning. You know, parents are really forced to be creative this year. Obviously, Halloween looking very different, but you just mentioned it. It's a good question. Are drive-through candy giveaways really offering a safe alternative? Well, UC Davis Dr. Dean Bloomberg says if done correctly, they present a low risk, but that increases when kids interact with people outside their house and don't keep their distance.
Because they're excited about trick-or-treating, will tend to bunch together with groups outside of their household, and any increase in transmission can lead to explosive outbreaks.
And Bloomberg suggests families stick to virtual events, and if you are going to go out, he says you should wear a mask even if your costume has a face covering. That's really good advice. Dina and John, I really think that people think because their costume for Halloween has a face covering or you're wearing a helmet of some sort, that actually provides safety around your mouth. It does not. So make sure you wear a mask under everything and anything if you are going to go out and hit the streets and trick-or-treat or do anything fun with other people.
Yeah, and just a reminder, because of those masks, you want to make sure that your eyes are very open so you can see any vehicles driving, because it will probably be dark pretty early. All right. Thank you, Ashley.
All right, it is 6:06 now. Let's get to Jordan. The person